Tia DeShay. I am Tia DeShay. I write now so others can remember later. I produce purpose from chaos, and I am a spiritual teacher for social, generational, and personal change. It is my intention on this channel to fulfill the scriptural mandate of Jeremiah 1:9. Then the Lord reached out his hand and touched my mouth and said to me, I have put my words in your mouth, in Revelation 10:11. Then I was told, you must prophesy again about many peoples, nation, languages, and kings. It is my prayer for Matthew, the 13th chapter and the 35th verse, to unfold in my life, ministry, and practice. So was fulfilled what was spoken through the prophet. I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things hidden since the creation of the world. Once again, I am Tia DeShay, and this is a mirrored moment message with Tia DeShay. So here is the message that I have received, and it goes along with a message that I posted previously on this channel. And if it's not on this channel, then it's on my app that I have. I have an app called Mirrored Moments, and I post channeled, or I upload channeled messages on the app as well. So it's in one of the two places. It's either here on YouTube or it's on my app. But I said a while ago, I posted a message, or I uploaded a message talking about how eventually the people that are enabling people will be removed. And it came through again yesterday. And I've been seeing this just in my personal life, everyday life, just being observant. But the message came through again yesterday. Today is Wednesday, November the 23rd, 2022, and it is 1:54 p.m. So that's why I titled this Inability to Enable. That's what's happening. That for instance, parents who have allowed their children to be at home and basically not do anything. And when I say, like, I'm talking about adult children, where we're like in their 20s, we'll say like from 21 on up. I'm just throwing out a random age, but we're not talking about, the child who is working or going to school. They're contributing in some way, shape, or form to the household. They're just not in the house, just laying up, using all the utilities, eating up all the food, and not contributing at all. Just when you wake up in the morning, your mother or father or grandmother or whoever, the other adult in the household has to walk over you to get to work, or you're still sleeping while they're up at the crack of dawn going to work. That's who I'm referring to. I'm not referring to the ones who, like I said, are contributing to the household. They're working, or they're going to school, or they help around the house with chores. I'm not referring to that adult child. I'm referring to the ones that the parent allows to just sit and watch Netflix all day, Tubi all day, just be on the internet, on their phone all day. They're eating up, all of the food, and not contributing anything to the household. Like, the money that's coming in is because of, because the parent is going out to work, or they may be receiving retirement money or disability money. Like, that is what is keeping the family afloat. It's not because the adult child is bringing in money. I mean, I'm gonna get to something else in a minute, but it's because of the parent or the grandparent or the aunt or the uncle. Their income is what is sustaining the household, and that adult child is just sitting around doing nothing. And then on top of that, they're bringing in more children. They're having children So now you got the grandchild or grandchildren in the house. Um, and that's just another mouth to feed, another person using your electricity and your water, your gas, your heat, and they're just not contributing anything. Just watching TV all day, on the phone all day, just not contributing. Well, that is over with. Not to instill fear, but the message came to me that it will end because of death. The parent will die because they're so stressed out and they're not taking care of their health, and they have literally worked themselves to the grave, or they're just so stressed out, and it's affecting their health. So they're either the enabler will either be removed through death, physical death. They'll either be removed because eviction, foreclosure, because they're just barely making it. Like the money they have coming in is enough just to keep the lights on, just to keep the utilities on, and just to have food in the house, the basic necessities to survive. And so now they're falling behind on rent, they're falling behind on property taxes on the home, they're falling behind on mortgage. Things are breaking down in the home, and they can't afford to get the things fixed that can really affect the quality of life inside of a home. So then they're forced to move. Like, that's the message I'm getting. Like, the enabler in some way, shape, or form will be forced to move, because it's because of them anyway that the person that's mooching off of them has a place to stay, and that's going to be taken. um it's going to be taken away, where they can no longer afford to pay the rent, no longer afford to pay the utilities. They just can't afford it. So they'll have to move. And so now the people that have been mooching off of this person, using this person, they got to figure out what to do. Also, if there's an instance of where parents are allowing the children to just do nothing because the child gets a check. Maybe they have some type of mental cognitive issue, some type of disability in which they get a check every month. So the parent will become the guardian of that child, um, and have control of their money. And I'm not talking about adult children who have a disability like Down syndrome, or they're in a wheelchair, they have cerebral palsy. In some way, shape, or form, they are physically incapacitated. I'm not talking about that type of adult child. This type of adult child may have they may have received special education services while in high school or while in school, because they had anger issues, or because they had ADHD, or maybe it just takes them a minute to process information. But they can still work, they can still contribute, but the check is better. The check. Because if the child goes out to work, then the parent can't control that money, but they can control the money that is brought in through the government. So they enable the child not to go out and work and be productive in some way, shape, or form. That's going to end as well, because it's not enough. It's not enough. What you thought, you were, if you thought you were getting over on your child, as far as like the Social Security checks and things like that, it's not enough, because you're behind on the rent, or you're behind on your property taxes, or if you live in a home, something breaks down and you don't have the money because the parent has enabled this child not to work. And so their check is not enough to cover whatever needs to be repaired in the home. So the enabling goes both ways. You enable the child because you want that check every month, or you have enabled the child um, uh, by not forcing them to be accountable and to be an adult and to go out and to get a job, because in some way, shape, or form, you know that you created this behavior, you allowed this behavior, and so you feel sorry, you feel guilty. So you allowed a child, you didn't prepare the child to be an adult, to function in the world as an adult. So you feel guilty, you feel ashamed, so you allow the child to just stay at home because you did not prepare the child for adulthood. I hope you all are following what I'm saying. But either way, however this situation came about of enabling, it's going to end. It's going to be forced to end, because what's happening is it's a lot of things that are happening. One is you're this child or this individual is not fulfilling. There's things that they have to do, that they have to fulfill, and you're blocking that. And so the spirit, the ancestors have to shake things up in order for that child to experience the things that they're supposed to experience, because those things are connected to other people. So the energy has to be broken up. It's like a tower moment. A tower moment, as like it's brought up in tarot. Like, things have to be shaken up in order for that child to move. Even for the person that's enabling them to move. Because it's still things that you have to do. And there's people that you need to meet, that are waiting on you. And as long as you're remaining stuck in this energy, these things can't happen. So you got to break up the energy. You got to destroy the energy. You have to disrupt the energy. You have to create chaos in order to get these individuals to move. And that's what's going to happen. It's no more. I've seen it. Like, I've seen it. I've heard about it. People have told me, stories, real life examples of people who, like, they can't. They're living like in homes that are basically abandoned. There's no utilities in the home, so the utilities are illegal. They have the lights on illegally, the water on illegally, because they have nowhere else to go. They can't go back home to mama anymore because mama is on Section 8, and Section 8 ain't playing. You better not have nobody else in that home, in that rental property, then who is listed on the lease. And we can pop up at any time. And if at any time we find out that there's someone else living there that's not on the lease, you lose your voucher and you have to go. And mama is not sacrificing that anymore. So now, the children, the adult children, are left to fend for themselves. And so they're living in abandoned homes. And then turning on utilities illegally. So I'm already seeing the word that I was given a while ago being fulfilled, and it's just going to get worse. So the enabling, you will not have the ability to enable anymore, because you just won't have the money for it. You won't be able, the environment, it won't even be safe to live where you're living, because you don't have the money to make the repairs, and it's not safe to live up in the home. We're going to see a lot of house fires, because people are living in environments where either the wiring in the home is so old and they just don't have the money to redo the wiring in the home. They're using space heaters and they're blowing out the fuses, and that the wiring is old and you're using a space heater, then you're blowing out the breaker box and they just don't have the money to get the wiring fixed. Furnace will go out. They don't have the money to get the furnace fixed. They're using propane heaters to heat up the house. That's carbon monoxide poisoning. We're going to see a lot of that because people are using different ways to heat their home and putting themselves at risk for carbon monoxide poisoning. We're going to see just homelessness, evictions, foreclosures, and just people out on the street because you've been dependent on this person enabling you for their benefit. And it could be financial, it could be emotional, it could be mental, but in some way, shape, or form, they're enabling you because it benefits them. Well, now there is no longer a benefit to continue to enable a person. And so people are going to have to fend for themselves. They're going to have to grow up and be an adult. Another thing, the economy. The economy is dependent on people working and spending money. Regardless of how you get that money, it's dependent on people making money and spending it. Now, it's mostly built on people working, going to a 9 to 5, working 8 hours a day, however those 8 hours are worked, whether it's a midnight shift, a day shift, whatever. But the economy is largely dependent on people going to work, clocking in, and then spending that money. Well, if you got a home where the money, the income in the home is only from disability or social security, um, or retirement, and that's it. And then there's nobody going, everybody is trying to live off that one amount that's coming in every month, and no one's going out to work that are capable of working. Well, yeah, the economy is going to suffer because of that. And so you don't think that the government doesn't know this? Doesn't realize what's going on? That there are a lot of able-bodied people sitting at home not working because someone is allowing them to not work. They're enabling them. So you don't think that the government is devising ways where that social security check is not going to be enough? That disability check is not going to be enough? That retirement check is not going to be enough? It's either you're going to have to make the decision and tell these people they got to go, and that money is enough for you to live off on, not 4 or 5 other people plus their kids, or the government will devise a way where it will disrupt that and to get those people to working. Because it's the reason why there's no one in the workforce. One of the reasons why, as in context of this video, is because people are enabling people to sit at home. And that's coming to an end. Also, those this is really specific. If you had a baby with a person, and the only reason you had a baby with that person because it was a money grab for you. I have said this countless times in messages, on my social media posts, that a lot of people are just using their children as a money grab. However they can make money off of their child. I have never seen, like, before the child, like, especially here in Detroit, like, we've had several instances of, well, we've had, I won't say several, we've had some instances of mental health, and the police have come in and killed the person. And before the person is even in the grave, like, and I'm not exaggerating, the family is already getting a lawyer to, to sue. I'm not saying that they aren't justified, but it's like, oh my goodness. Like they haven't even buried the person and they're already finding a lawyer to sue. Because they're going to come up in some way, shape, or form, however they got to come up, they're going to get some money. And that's what we're seeing a lot of. People are really using their family, their children, in whatever way they can to sue and get money, they're going to do it. You're going to see a lot more of that. That people will use their blood, their family, in whatever way possible to come up. However, whatever disappointing situation a family member could be experiencing, whether it's physical death, untimely physical death, a tragic death, if they're ill, they have some type of sickness, I'm telling you, you're going to start seeing a lot of family members finding a way to come up off another person's tragedy, or a person in their family's tragedy, or just misfortune. They will find a way to make money off another family member's misfortune. Watch what I tell you. They are using their children as a money grab, whether it's through special education, whether it's what I was going to say was people are having children because with a person who they know is going to be a decent parent. And I'm speaking, it could be both men and women that will be a decent parent, will take care of the child and all of that. But what happens is, this one is more specifically toward women. What I'm about to say, this channeled message, prophetic message. They had the child because it was their way out of their current situation. They was in a bind. They were in a bind. And, they hooked up with somebody and they hit the jackpot when they got pregnant. Because that person was able to get them out of their financial bind that they were going through at the time. And everything was well and good. Everything was well and good, with them being taken care of by this particular person, by this, this man. Everything was fine. Until they realize, like, children grow up and children develop their own personalities, and children will do a you on you, because all they are many yous, a reflection of you. And they start talking, and sometimes they start talking back and they give you a hard time. And then you realize, everything was fine, when you were staying at home and he was taking care, the father was taking care of all the bills and, everything. But now the child is starting to talk and ask questions, and it's getting on your nerve. And you're not able to go out. You're looking and seeing your life just pass you by. You stuck at home all day because this is what is now expected of you. Like, now you're starting to see this man's true colors. He wants you to stay at home. And that's not really what you wanted. You want to go out. You want to have a good time. You didn't see your life at just being at home, being a mother, and not going out. So it's like your plan kind of backfired. You got what you wanted. You got what you wanted. You got a child and you taken care of. You got a roof over your head. You don't have to worry about bills. You don't have to worry about being evicted. You don't have to worry about working and grinding. But you realize you're dependent on this person. You got to wait on them for when they get paid, or for when they give you money, or when they want to take you somewhere. They calling the shots. And so now you're like, is it really worth it? Is it really worth, I had a child, is it really worth it? Because you can't come and go as you please, and you can't go and hang out, and you missing that. But this is what you wanted. You saw that you're having the child as a money grab. It was all good at first when the man was like, yeah, you can stay at home and I'm gonna take care of you. But everything comes with a price. And what you wanted now comes with a price, but now you don't want to pay up. And now the child is getting on your nerves. We're going to see unfortunately, a lot of mothers just having mental breaks and, harming their children. Because either they're a single mother, and it's just the stress of just not having the money. They have multiple children, or even if they only have one child, they don't have the money. They're barely making it to take care of themselves and a child and rent and car note, car insurance, all of this stuff. They're barely making it. And a lot of women are going to break. They're going to have psychotic breakdowns and harm their children, some even leading to death. Like their mind is just going to go because they just can't take it anymore. They just can't take it anymore because it's like they don't want to be in the house all day with with their child. It's like it's getting boring. And then some are, you know, they'll work, but they don't even have the mindset to consistently work. I'm hearing like people are really having, like, they can't focus. They can't um maintain a job. They can't seem to find the energy and the focus and the consistency and discipline to get up and go to work. And then they realize, like, I'm working 8 hours and I'm dealing with all this, and I'm only bringing home $600 to $1,000 a week after working 40 hours a week. Like, there will be a lot, especially with single parents, mothers particularly, there will be a lot of psychotic breaks because they just can't seem to get out the hole. They just can't seem to get ahead. Like, they one mishap will just put their life out of, in a downward spiral. Having the children is not what they expected, and so they're going to take it out on the children. We're going to see a lot of that, and it's especially around the time of the holidays, which we're in now. And it's no coincidence that this is the energy that is created around this time on purpose, deliberately. This energy is created of feeling sad, feeling depressed, feeling in competition, not having enough, people starting to feel bored, doing the same thing over and over again every year, doing the same thing. Okay, every year, we cook the food and we have family over and we fake it and we act like we happy, but we really not. We go out and get into debt for Christmas, and we want to do something different, but we're so afraid to. We so afraid to do something different. We so afraid to say, you know what, y'all, this year I just don't want to do this. I just don't want to do Thanksgiving. I'm tired of doing the same thing over and over again. We're too afraid to say, this year I don't want to do Christmas. I'd rather use my money for something else. Maybe to go to school, invest in myself, to take a trip, maybe fix the house, or I need this money to pay some bills and get out of debt. We're too afraid to say that because we're afraid of what people are going to say or think. Well, guess what? You're going to be forced to, because the enabler won't be able to enable anymore. They won't have the ability to do it. You're going to be forced to say, you know what, Christmas is canceled this year. Thanksgiving is canceled this year. You're going to be forced to. Because the facade, you're no longer able to maintain the facade anymore. I'm telling you, mental breaks are going to be at an all-time high. Mental breakdowns, I should say, at an all-time high. Psychotic breaks. I mean, mothers just like I said, harming their children. Because this is not what they expected their life to look like. People, having affairs at work, going to work and having work husbands and work wives until they get caught. There's going to be a lot of people getting caught. Trying to hide, affairs through the phone, text messaging, and all of that. And you're going to end up getting caught. We're going to see a lot of that. Because they wanted the child, because they knew the person was going to take care of the child, and it was their way of coming up, but they didn't realize what all that would entail. And it's time for people, you can't keep enabling people. People got to get out and they have to work and make a living. However, whether they want to be an entrepreneur, own their own business, sell their own products or work for someone else, however way you choose to do it. But we are not meant as human beings to just sit around and do nothing. Because if you pay attention to nature, nature will get rid of you if you do nothing. If you have no purpose and no use. Nature has a way of getting rid of dead weight, of getting rid of things that don't contribute to the ecosystem. Nature does it naturally. And you think that doesn't apply to human beings? To do nothing? To do nothing but sit at home all day and watch TV and watch movies and watch cable and that's it? Because I've always said, if we're going to have stay-at-home parents, we should be producing geniuses. If we're going to have stay-at-home parents, we should be producing geniuses. Until they, especially for the first 5 years, 6 years until they go to school, if you're not homeschooling. Like, by the time your child enrolls in school, and if you decide to be a stay-at-home parent, they should be so ahead of the game. But that's about time management. That's about having a schedule. Because I do think that stay-at-home moms should get paid. They should get paid an income, a salary. They should get paid for that. Because that is a sense of entrepreneurship. It's like you have your own daycare and your own school and your own cleaning service. But it's about time management. It's about treating it like a job. A stay-at-home mom is a job, and treating it as such. Getting up, getting the kids dressed, getting yourself dressed, having a routine for the day, Today is Monday. Today, on Mondays we wash clothes and we clean the house. Then on Tuesdays could be learning day. I don't know. This is the day where we learn. We're going to learn math today or science today or whatever it is it may be. We're going to go out in the garden. On Wednesdays we do grocery shopping. However you plan your day. It should include more than just getting up, brushing your teeth, washing your face, and being on your phone all day. And locking your child or children in the room and telling them to watch TV and putting them in front of a tablet or a phone. But the enabling is coming to an end. And the first way that God was attempting to get people's attention was through their money. Your money is not even allowing you to support or enable this person or people anymore. But yet you still keep trying to make it stretch. You still keep trying to hustle. And then if you notice that every time you spend the money, something else happens. Something else needs to be fixed. It's going to be a big shakeup, a big shakeup. People are going to have to start holding their own. And if they're not able to do so, nature has a way. You're not getting that money no more from that adult child who you always bailing out, because they got some kind of issue, and you get money for them. You are in control of the check they get every month. No, that's about to end. You're not going to get that check every month. The world, the universe is going to have a way of that. You're not going to be able to get that check every month. So if you've been establishing a lifestyle off of that check, it's time for you to rework the lifestyle, because it's getting ready to end. You're going to be short $500-$600 a month. Because your enabling behavior is affecting so many people. When you enable your adult children and they go out and commit crimes because they know mama gonna always bail them out, grandma gonna bail them out, I could just stay at home all day and watch TV and movies all day and eat you out of house and home. Like, you're affecting so many people outside of your home. It just doesn't stay in the home. It affects people outside of the home, because then they start bringing they friends over. They do nothing friends, and it just affects the community around. It doesn't just stay in your home. It starts affecting other people, and that's going to end. Because God has put a plan and an assignment in everybody. And if that plan and assignment is altered or it's affected because of your enabling children or your enabling behavior, then something gonna have to shake. Because things have to keep moving, things have to keep going, and God is not going to allow you to put a monkey wrench in the plan. The enabling is over with. And next year is a 7-year. Is a number of completion, of divine order. 7 is a very spiritual number, a number of divinity. Oh yeah, this riffraff, this do nothingness is coming to an end, because it can't go into this cycle of divinity. It can't disrupt the divinity that we're embarking on for next year. So start making plans. Either you're gonna go to work and start looking for you a place to stay, because you really don't want it to get to the point where you're forced out. But some of you, that's what it's gonna take, you forced out. You're gonna see who your real friends are, who gonna take you in if you're not working, who gonna take you in and you got a child or children. You bring in extra yourself and some more people, and you not working. Ain't nobody gonna care about the fact that you get a food stamp card. A food stamp card is not gonna pay the light bill. A food stamp card is not gonna put gas in the tank, because the enablers are getting ready to be removed. And there's nothing you can do about it, because the shakeup is going to happen where it's going to be every person for themselves. You're not going to even have time to just think about it. Or you're not going to even have time. Well, let me complete that thought. You're not going to even have time to think about what's happening, because you're just going to be in reaction mode, reacting. And you're not going to even have time to think about anybody else, or you're not going to even have time to think about bringing anybody else with you, because it's going to be happening so fast, and it's going to be every man, every woman for themselves, because people are literally going to be in survival mode, and they're going to be thinking about themselves. And for some of you, you're you're on the right path, you're doing the right thing, but your blessings aren't coming as strong or as much as they should be, because there are people who are really just like using you and trying to find a way of how they could come up and how you can help them, fulfill their agenda. And they might slide you some crumbs, but really how to they're just looking at you on how you can help them fulfill their agenda. And that's not your responsibility. Like, you were only supposed to help so much, and they're looking for you to go all the way. And it's like, no, you were only there to help them to get so far, and then somebody else was supposed to come and replace you to help them get to another step, so on and so forth. But they're looking to take you along for the ride as long as they can take you. And that's why a lot of your blessings aren't coming, because you've overextended your welcome, you've overextended your help. They want to hold on to you, and it's not. You're not supposed to help them, or you weren't supposed to help them for as long as you're helping them. But they want to force it, and then want to get mad when it's time for you to stop. They want to get mad and feel like that they were used, or that they got used, and that wasn't the case. And it's okay. Just forgive, and trust that God and your spirit team will work it out. That people will get everything that they were entitled to. That no one is going to lose out on anything. So that's the mirror moment message for today, Wednesday, November 23rd, 2022. And these messages are usually long because I don't do too many mirrored moment messages on YouTube unless I'm instructed to. So that's why they're usually, long like they are. But the enabling is coming to an end. It has ended. It's just that people are just holding on, but it has ended. And we're all about to witness the finale. We are about to witness the finale. So this has been another Mirror Moment message with Tia DeShay. Remember to pay attention to what you don't see, because what you don't see will help you make sense of what you are seeing. And until next time, stay blessed and be aware.